Welcome, man. Welcome. Today looks very different. Feels different.
Yeah.
It was an amazing time. And we have a lot to get into. We have a lot to talk about. We have two very special guests. I learned so much in pre-production about the two women to my left. Go ahead and introduce our guests.
Wow.
Yeah, quick.
Great job there.
Yeah.
Way to go.
I'm a point guard. Something you know nothing about.
Terrible pass. Obviously, you see that we are also. I thought you were going to say we're missing a person first. Like
I'll talk about him later.
Okay. All right. Well, yes. No. We have Aston Hayes in the building. Ting.
Hey.
Ting. Quinn. I don't know your last name, Quinn. Quinn Bryant like Kobe. Okay, we have Quinn Bryant like Kobe in the building.
I like that.
Yes, no, we are here. We're celebrating Women's Month, and obviously, you know, everything we celebrated black. So we are here with two black women. We just had a segment with other black women, which you'll see shortly. But this is dope, man. This has been we're also at is it Urban Grind?
Yeah.
Is it Urban Grind Gym? Is that how you say it?
Urban Grind Fitness. Yeah.
Urban Grind
Chicago.
Fitness.
Yep.
Which is also
in the heart
owned
of downtown.
by a black woman. So shout out to Marion for hosting us.
Don't
here
disrespect
in the
her
spot.
name.
Ting.
Hello.
Y'all don't even know, man. We got tires and random heavyweight looking shit over here. The fact that Abasi is not here is hilarious. Because I'm sure he be doing gym shit. I don't know, but I don't go to the gym. He definitely don't go to the gym.
I said it earlier. You
really
already know.
dope
I was looking good out here.
Really dope.
First of all, man, let me give Abasi some love.
I'm about to be on some real murder shit, eh? I'm telling you, man.
Except now,
Any nigga that ever looked at me wrong owes me money.
Time you got to do certain shit.
he had dental surgery.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He was.
You don't think we had that conversation yesterday? I said that very clearly. It's okay.
Did you?
It's all right.
4 brains.
Four brains
work. Yeah, good job.
Except one of them doesn't. Never mind.
No, my shit works. I'm the reason we here.
Anyway.
91.
So, thank you all for pulling up on the corner. So very good to have you here. We're going to get into the whole segment a little bit, but just real quick, introduce yourselves. What do you do? How do you do it? And you know, what part of Chicago are you from is really very important.
Okay. You want to start with it? Sure. Quinn Bryant. I am a marketing strategist in the cannabis industry and also a writer. What would Jay-Z do? Book of daily affirmations and where I'm from. I'm from the hundreds.
Hey, wow.
High school.
Good stuff. My name is Aston Hayes. I'd like to say I'm a Renaissance woman. Do a little bit of everything. Yes, Renaissance. But by day I work in the wine and spirits industry as a marketing manager, night app developer, and just a lover of life.
You are that.
Definitely that. Yeah.
And I'm from all over the South Side and South Burbs.
All over.
Yeah, all over.
She got her own day.
All over. Yeah.
She got her own day.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, they crowned Aston Day. Like she got her own day.
You did.
Yeah.
Low key, I did see that though. I'm not even gonna front.
It's crazy.
You deserved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much.
The camera was rolling too. That's how I saw. I'm like,
Yeah, Aston Day like that. You got to be dope to get your own day.
That's dope though.
It's not my birthday. I was
And that
that's
like one of them
crazy.
random brown, like, you know, honorary street signs, like a whole day. You know what I'm talking about? Like
A street
real.
sign that's already known for another street.
for somebody else's name. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Lakeshore Drive.
Right,
Or
right.
What is it?
It's DuSable
Congress is
now.
Yeah.
It's DuSable.
But
Yeah.
you, like...
Yeah, I hate that.
ingrained
It's DuSable Lakeshore
Lakeshore
Drive.
Drive.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let the Lakeshore Drive go.
So a little microphone etiquette. We got to get like real close. intimate
real
with
close.
The mic. Yeah, right
Okay.
No, so it's okay. Talking to the mic. You know what I mean?
Right in the
Just speak
cylindrical
up.
atmosphere.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a problem, man. So typically, what we do, I like to ask everybody how was their week before we really get into the shits.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna go far left. How was your week? Don't be scared.
I don't remember my week.
I love that.
Told you
She
guys
purged
I purged
it.
it
She
already.
purged
I love it.
Sorry. And
I'm okay with that.
End of story.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I had a great week. Didn't really have anything bad happen. Family is in town, so that's what I'm going to hang out with when I leave here. So, yeah, life is good.
Word. I has to be doing like 700 things. Like, oh, you know, just real regular week. We both went to Eldridge's.
Yeah.
Shout out El, man. El turned
Yes.
40. If you know Eldridge from the Delta,
Happy
from
birthday, brother.
AO
Transition.
Pizza. Yes, the transition. That boy
What's
was in there.
crazy is I met somebody yesterday that was at that party.
Really?
That's from Nashville. That they came up here for the party.
Really?
And my cousin was like, my friend said she saw you at somebody's party on Sunday. And I said, what? And she was just like, yeah, they're from no, not from Memphis. He's from Memphis. They were from Nashville.
Shout out to Memphis, my whole
and she
family
was
from
like,
there.
oh, yeah, but they were there for their cousin's birthday. That's from Memphis. And I said, Eldridge? I said,
Right.
wow.
Yeah.
Did
Like,
they think it was
small
worth
world.
the trip?
Oh God, he had a
It was his
choir.
40th. Yeah, he had a choir. It was like,
see
the
your
place
petty.
was dope.
Wait, but he had a choir like sing through the club. It's first of all, the club is a secret club. You have to walk through
a
an
speakeasy, yeah.
Special.
It's like a door to a real place, and then there's a secret door, right? So that's first of all,
How many
right?
people were in this choir?
About 20 it looked like on the video. We got there right after the
Right,
choir
yeah, we
sang.
can hear them. No, we weren't live.
But literally they had on like skull masks.
So it was Sunday
like
service.
it's that vibe.
So this is an
He's a
Illuminati
huge-
party that y'all
yeah,
was at.
he's a
Like,
huge,
Yeah, like
he's a
what?
huge Kanye fan. He's like the Kanye stan, like 100%, right?
You got invited?
You hilarious.
No, I'm just like, I'm not with that Illuminati shit. So let me know now.
Again, he's a huge Kanye stan.
It's a secret society. All we ask is trust.
Very creative. Lot of dope people in the
Yeah.
building. But anyway,
he had
It's
ice
going.
blue contacts on. That's what
yeah, it
was
was
taking me.
crazy. Yeah.
What?
So this
Yeah.
party was
Yeah.
lit, or
It was lit.
It was lit. And
Not
yeah.
or. It was lit.
Yeah.
And.
The hell
There was
going
other
on
things.
here?
Yeah, my week was dope. Not really though. Actually, now that I need to learn how to do this purge thing you do. Like I would purge this week, man.
it's always a good week because you made it. But
Right.
everything else that happened
Facts.
didn't happen.
But this seemed like a super long week. You know, teaching seems to have gotten harder. I don't know. Students were just very like anti everything this week, and
Y'all
it just
tired, bro.
slowed everything. And that could be it too. It's towards the end of the year. This is around a time where people start to crash and people start to kind of fall victim to kind of like the fatigue of it all. But it was just a long work week. I'll say that. Other than that. Other than seeing Brother L on his 40th. And cousin Rika went to her
Happy
40th birthday party.
birthday.
Ting, ting, ting. Y'all see a little bit of her later. So in that way, it was dope. Just kind of hanging with family like that.
All right. Well, we got the week. I don't do anything special. This is the special
know.
week for me. You know what I mean? I completely grind.
That's why it take you so long to set up, because you don't want to go home.
Yeah, so I completely grind and make sure that the business is right. Make sure that we are highlighting what we need to highlight. So thank y'all for showing up, for real. It's been a pleasure thus far, and now we about to get into the shits.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for having
I'm
us.
with the shits.
With the shits.
Let's get
She
into
said
it.
it so politely. With the shits.
Yeah.
The shits I'll be with.
The shits out.
I'm gonna start saying that.
The shits I'll be with. Thou's half the shits.
So, did you guys see in Chicago, man? Chicago is such a beautiful place sometimes, and it can be ugly, but I hate when the media only highlights the uglies, which is why our podcast is dope, because we don't deal with that TMZ bullshit in Chicago. But I had to talk about the officers that won't be charged in the shooting of Adam Toledo and Anthony Alvarez. Typically, this is Bossy's lane, but I would love to know what you guys think in reference to these officers not being charged.
What's the justification as to why they will not be charged?
Yeah, so you didn't get the show right.
He didn't read it. He doesn't read it. He just finds headlines and throws them out.
Wow. Wow.
Let me ask you guys.
Yeah, I didn't read it either. I'd never read
Because
it.
And guess
I'm gonna
what?
tell you why.
Somebody else might not
No,
know
I'm gonna
No,
tell you
it's a
why.
great point.
The realization is they have the blue line behind them.
Well, I mean,
That
we
is-
know
that's
yeah.
right. The actual reason why they justified the shooting, right? Copa just justified the shooting. So once that happens, you're scot free at the end of the day. Now,
She was asking, like, what's the justification? Like, why did they say it was a justified?
I mean, they're gonna come up. They're
Well-
not just gonna be like, "We ain't doing it." It's
Right,
gonna be
right,
like,
right,
"We're
right,
not
right.
doing
after
it." because
watching
bullshit or
videos, right, and really going through the video, there, and I hate that Abasi isn't here, but there is protocol that you're supposed to follow as a police officer, and you're taught to do certain things when dealing with offenders, right? He didn't necessarily do anything outside of their realm, but they move the goalposts for their own at the end of the day.
It's a very long way for him to say.
Which is what they do.
No surprise.
Okay.
No surprise, right?
Okay.
But it doesn't surprise me. Am I pissed? Yes. But there are a lot of other factors. So we've talked about this before when it actually happened, about bad policing. At the end of the day, it was bad policing. That was the general consensus from Abbasi.
And this is two separate cases, right?
Yeah.
Right. These are two separate court cases about two separate police-involved shootings by Chicago police.
Yes.
Toledo was the one that was in the alley, right, where they were chasing him down the alley.
And he, quote unquote, tossed the gun.
And then here's the part, right? It's the
And he was shot by a white officer.
He definitely threw something. Like, we can't verify what it was. We know that.
But if he threw it, then he's not, whatever it was, he doesn't have it anymore. So his threat level plummeted significantly.
And that's definitely where the conversation of like, so how do you justify if you thought he had a deadly weapon and you said you saw him throw it?
Yeah.
Why did you feel like it was deadly? So yeah, I think that's a key element. I don't know what the judge kind of leaned towards to say that it was justified. I probably should have checked that out, but
what it boils down to me, again, white officer shot a brown brother. Mm-hmm. Right now, you can get into he shouldn't have been outside at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You can also get into he told him to stop when he was running. He kept running. There are a lot of different factors that happen. Right now, as a police officer, I don't know this, but my whole family is police. Right, so I've heard the stories. I've seen the paperwork, and I've been on the other side where I probably should have been doing some shit. Right. And God had me covered.
Who hasn't? You're human.
Right.
And he's young. Like, young people do stuff. That's what it is.
So again, I think the question is more about having officers police neighborhoods that they're not from because they're scared of the youth.
Okay. How about this though?
Bring your
But in our community, what we've done is make being a police officer so unacceptable that you don't even have people that look like you wanting to police you because we just made you like drug dealers are more acceptable in our community than police officers are.
Yep.
And that seems to me like part of the plan.
Part of the plan. Let's get into it.
It's all a plan.
What do you
they
think?
playing checkers.
Well, I mean, when she says that, that's when I go back.
Vice versa, yeah.
The saying defund the police. Totally for it, just not the verbiage that they use.
A part of the plan.
The attack.
Because you could have chose a different word. How many words are there in the English language?
Yeah.
You could have chosen any one of them.
Restructure the police.
What you chose was defund
Reorganize.
because you knew it was going to get the reaction that was,
exactly.
the police are important. And it's not that they're not important. It's that you have them doing so many different fucking things.
To only
they're
go,
overwhelmed.
6 to 9 months of training or whatever.
Yeah.
Then you have the things that they do that people go to school for 4+ years. Social work, therapy.
Absolutely, yeah.
Whatever it is that they, literally really they should just be coming in doing, traffic stops. Like you should have a separate traffic unit, but
separate training for like a person's going to work in traffic.
And even if you did police in that way, they should be serving certain things. Like
really
I don't have
point.
like the SWAT does what SWAT does,
right.
but you don't see SWAT going out pulling people over for traffic stops.
Right.
So have your traffic police and have your SWAT police and have your police that deal just with domestic violence.
Right.
Have your people that deal with the youth. If that's how you want to police
really,
it.
really interesting point. Yeah,
but that's the way they put defund the police is make it seem like, just take money away from the police. No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying like if someone has a domestic violence, you might not necessarily need
to send
a whole squad or police there. You might need somebody that's a social worker or a therapist and a police just in case, something goes down.
Right.
But that's not how it is
currently
laid out to
because
people.
they chose the word defund.
Defund, right.
That's interesting. So my take on defund as a word choice was the fact that we do know, hands down, that police departments are being funded for military grade weaponry, right? Like regular municipal police departments are being given tanks and like straight up army shit.
A military.
But the funding part is what's allocated by federal and state legislatures, right? So the defund to me, I thought was targeting this idea of stop giving them military grade weaponry, right? Now, what's really interesting, the point that you just brought up, is this concept that, like, in other industries, we do train for the specific role, right? So it's like you said, like, you can't be a psychologist and not have taken those classes. So it does seem that we have shortened the window of training.
You only need
for somebody
60
who
credit
has-
hours to be the police.
Right, but also, and these people are literally within.
And then they work that
they
the
make
day.
life and
Right.
death decisions. You know what I mean? Like, they make life and death decisions. Even if you just get locked up, they make life and death decisions in
Right.
that way. So that is something to say. Like, why isn't there more specific training required for somebody responding to a call of a kid with a weapon? Somebody who has more specific social psychology trainings, more therapeutic training, more negotiation training.
That
They
affects
should be the
people's
people
lives,
getting that. Right
including
now,
theirs.
but policing has always been just a job, and I hate to say it, but just like teaching in a lot of ways.
Policing
Like,
was started because
just
it
put
was,
anybody in the
slave.
class.
Exactly.
Slave
It was
yeah,
slaves.
convict leasing. Yeah, I mean, like after Civil War and after slaves were freed technically by the Emancipation Proclamation, convict leasing started, and so you had to lock people up to be able to put them back to work.
So you guys just answered your own question.
Right.
You made your way to
True.
it. As far as they're not gonna be charged.
Right.
I'm sorry. You waiting for justice in these type of situations is like waiting for people to free you from slavery.
Right. Yeah.
Facts.
No. And we talk a lot about judges. We talk a lot about the fact that we want to talk about the police who responded to the thing. We don't talk about the judges enough in our communities. Who is this judge? Who's voting for this judge? Everybody goes to that ballot, sees them 57 names on that thing, and just either skip it or just click all the black names
this
and shit.
person
Yeah.
sent your uncle to
Stay
jail.
away from the Shishimskis and all of them. But ultimately, you don't have no idea who these people are, and they're the ones that make these decisions in these cases.
Agreed.
I really feel like police should be voted in, though. They should be just. I mean, if they're getting tax
Police?
money,
Interesting.
Police.
Like
That's a
you
lot
mean
of
like the
votes.
captains?
Yes,
or you mean like
yeah, that's a
every
lot of
captains
votes.
or
At least
some-
like the leaders.
It needs to be something because the fact that
Yeah.
they get tax money and get funded this way,
For sure.
the communities need to have more control over who is coming in
For sure.
and policing them.
I would think I
interesting.
like that. I would say if I'm in, let's say, Inglewood, right? I would vote. Let me vote on the officers that are available for Inglewood. I like that. I like that idea,
Or
right?
something
You said
along
something
those
like
lines.
Just Inglewood, wherever you from, right? Let's say, where you
We
from?
have a mayor that's not from Chicago.
Right,
So,
which is
but
trash.
The police, but the
Right.
police
But
officers
because
have to be
this is-
representative of the community.
Yes, because
Yeah.
your foot's on the ground daily, 24/7, 365.
I agree. I'm just being devil's advocate.
No, I'm with that. I'm with
They
that.
don't have to be from there, but it's like if I have some background on who these police, like maybe it's that the police
Love
have to
that
have
idea.
They see
public
themselves
profiles
in
Right.
the
that
people in the
everybody
community.
sees.
Right.
Maybe
Not-
what if it's
like
not
a LinkedIn for police that
I was about to say,
A link there.
what if it's not an election, but what if it's more that there's a responsibility
review
for them
police.
to actually have to put their, if you become a police officer, you have to put
public.
your profile out on some
And the
platform.
community
and I can
votes.
review
Yeah, so
it.
that
I
we
can
know
be
who
like,
you
he
are.
pulled me over and gave me blah blah
That's
blah
interesting.
blah
That
blah.
demand said people look you up.
Well, yeah, that part.
You just said
listen,
the judges.
You
we
can't
just-
solve everything,
we
but.
just-
But we don't right now. Currently, we don't ask police shit other than what?
Yeah,
yes,
no
yes,
accountability.
officer. What
Have a
did I do,
badge
sir?
number.
Like that's all the fuck we do.
Is there a problem?
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm sorry. What is the issue?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Agreed.
speaking on that, man, they have new technology that is aiming to reduce drunk driving.
I saw that.
And this is crazy.
Impaired or drunk?
No, well,
Drunk.
your blood alcohol level.
For the cannabis
They
industry.
use the term drunk.
Oh, that's a great point.
And guess what? The fights would go down in
DWIs.
clubs. People would just be easier. Like, just smoke some weed. And guess what? You just
We gonna
skirt
talk
it
about
around.
that.
But see, that's fucked up though, right? So if I've never been pulled over for a DUI, why the fuck do I have to have a breathalyzer in my car? So they're saying all
disagree.
2023.
You said you never,
Right.
you never
Oh, before you
DUI.
start
I
it,
disagree.
you have to take a breathalyzer.
I did.
Yes.
Yes. So if you don't know, right? I'm not going to explain why I know this, but so if you get a DUI in Illinois, as long as you don't like hurt anybody, if it's just you get pulled over and your blood alcohol level was at a certain level, one of the stipulations, like let's say your job, you depend on your car, you have to be able to drive. The only way if you're charged with a DUI is you have to have a device installed in your car so that you can blow and it will show what your blood alcohol level is, and then it won't start your car if your alcohol level is up. Now, so I will say,
And that means if I didn't get
kinda
drunk the night
cool.
before, right? And that's just
not true.
But they
it
already
is.
have
It is
that,
true.
don't they?
I'm gonna tell you why it's true because my man, when I went to Memphis, he had the same shit in his car. He got 2 cars. He like
He just said he got 2 DUIs, but okay.
I'm trying to tell you, but the breathalyzer was only in one of them, right?
Man.
So he like, man, just drive this one. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll drive it, right? Pause. I'm blowing it. I'm blowing right. That motherfucker wouldn't start up. He like, bro, you gotta do it like this. So he blew. Pause. Right. It was a whole
Bet
situation.
you won't do it like this.
Right. So it had like the little hookah little sticks that you put in, right?
Bossy, I wish you was here. Oh, Bossy.
Right. Yeah, hookah in the car. It's crazy, right?
Hookah in the car.
So you keep blowing. So now, like, OC, pause, man. This shit's so fucking weird. So fucking weird, right? So I'm driving, and I'm on the E-way, and it'll give you a countdown, like blow now, like pause again.
So while you still driving, they want to know that you're not drinking and driving.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, here's the thing. But wait.
Yes.
But here's
shit
the
was
thing.
weird as fuck.
Here's the
You
thing,
couldn't
though.
be drinking and
And
driving.
hello.
So
Flat
is
out.
it going to stop the car? Like, what is
Yeah,
it
that
gonna do?
motherfucker shut down. They'll come
You
pick your shit
gotta
up.
use the microphone. You got all these great comments.
sorry. He wants you to put your mouth on it.
See, I did not say that.
Essentially, that's
Use the microphone. But no, I think here's what I'm saying, right? On the other side of it. We're talking about it from like the inconvenience of being the person who wants to drink and drive. Be the person who lost a child to a drunk driver, though.
I feel that.
Be the person who literally is now their entire lifestyle, their entire livelihood is gone because your husband, wife, cousin, somebody in your family was the drunk driver. Like
No, that boy's
when
his
I
partner.
found out about that technology, to me, this is what it told me. It tells me that the liquor company has their hands in some real pockets because it already exists.
And it's
Why
not
doesn't
there.
it come standard on a car? If you want to eliminate DUIs, you want to eliminate drunk driving, come standard on the car. We got brakes. You know why? So that people can stop. Those come standard on every car, right? You have mirrors. You know why? Because so you can see what's to your left and to your right and behind you. Because it's about safety. They come standard on every car. The fact that there is not a mandatory device that you should have to imagine how you literally eliminate an entire wing of the
Issue.
court.
Problem solved.
You eliminate, but you know how much money
It's
they
in that.
get from DUIs. Again, not going to speak about why I know this, but we talking about $10,000 plus dollars.
Yeah.
In,
That shit
in
is
a
trash, bro.
standard situation. Money to the courts. I've seen this receipt. It has on it.
He's like, look.
I'm not going to say whose name is
I
on the
know.
receipt. I've seen it. I'm telling you, it has a section where a part of the fee is for the police department. You pay $200 as a part of the DUI fee to the police department, to the circuit court. It is a financial windfall
Cash cow.
for city government.
So why do you think that was going to be one of my questions? Why do you think liquor companies would allow this to
They
even
lobby.
happen?
They lobby,
But
yes.
I was thinking like maybe the cannabis companies dropped a dime on somebody because
Y'all next.
I'm going to drop a dime on them fools, but
'Cause
we are so
DWI is
far
still a thing.
removed from. We are so far removed from where liquor companies are. It's really kind of like it's a new man. This my corner now.
Hey, they've been running America's. Look, they tried to do prohibition. That shit didn't work. So I'm saying, period, point blank. And I don't listen. I clearly don't have no issues with the liquor industry. Let's be clear.
Not at all. Hello.
I am ting 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 ting. But I do believe that this is a device that overall would eliminate a very difficult part of our society. Because again, we were all looking at it like, man, but what if I just left the bar? What if I just had XYZ? At the end of the day, we got Uber now. There are so many options.
What if the Uber driver drunk?
I was at a birthday party.
He
and
has the same thing you have.
Exactly. You can't start the car.
And that's
It's only in
valid 'cause
2023 is that they're trying to.
I mean, take it
put
to
this-
the next level.
No,
what if
all
you
you
get
need is an
blasted, you do the
attachment.
responsible thing and call an Uber, and then this dude is drinking, so you still die in a drunk driving accident
Right.
because this clown is drinking.
No, it's a
and
real
driving,
thing.
right?
It's a real thing.
Agreed. 1,000%. So maybe drinking, you know how like weed used to be like, well, I guess to some degree it still is based on the law, but it was a thing that you do at home.
Right.
Maybe they're just going to switch places. Drinking, and you just drank at home for a year and a half when we were locked up. So now drinking is
liquor.
what you do at home, and weed is. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
You can get around the car blower.
The car blower. The car
breathalyzer. Let's go with the technical term.
The car blower. Okay.
200.
Oh damn! Well, I've never gotten pulled over for drinking.
Yeah, me either. And I like again, I've been covered. You know what I mean? For real, because it's been some nights.
And so has the rest of the population.
For sure.
And got home safely.
I feel like we are in a very fashionable space. Everything, again, I talk about it all the time. In Chicago, man, everything is dope. Everything is fly. I have a problem, and I'm going to go on record. I have a problem with Ralph Lauren jumping on this HBCU collaboration with Spelman and Morehouse. I'm going to tell you why I have a problem. For one, I feel like it's pandering. Because they had opportunities when the Cosby Show, or not, A Different World, a spinoff of the Cosby Show, they weren't in. In the early 2000s, they weren't in. They were siding with Hilfiger when Hilfiger found out that hip hop was wearing his clothes. Now all of a sudden, Bossy says all the time, now it's cool to be on the black side of things. The money, we looked it up earlier.
It's not cool, it's profitable.
Profitable, right. Exactly. And again, in business, I get it. I don't like it. And this is what Shea Whitey does. And the sooner that we realize that we are the culture, we do move the culture, and we completely link up, jump on each other's backs, and hold each other down, will we put them out of business. For real. And when I say put them out of business, they won't get the black dollar.
Let's that's a lot. Let's start with the first part. Let's just start with the first part. What do you think about the polo line? Just what do you think about it before we get into the part about putting them out of business?
I have polo.
I fuck with polo.
Have you seen this though? Have you seen this thing though?
I've seen it, and I agree. And especially, what's the brand? It was like throwback.
Outkast.
No. I have one of the sweaters. Like it's like a Malcolm X College or like Chicago State or something. But it's a guy. His name is like Chris Latimer or something.
HBCU joint? You talking about black? Yeah. I know you're talking about.
The quality of these like hoodies and T-shirts is like impeccable.
You talking about the support the black college guys?
It's better than Ralph. Fuck
I can't remember. He was in Chicago for All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, like valid, and it's something we all used to wear like back in the day.
I know you're talking about. Martin had one on. He had the
Everybody had one on. For sure.
I definitely know what you're talking about.
I can't think of that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, he made a comeback
recently,
probably like a couple years ago. It was funny. One of my friends literally pulled out his like Howard sweater from back in the day.
original.
And them shits was $80 a pop.
It still looks as good as my brand new. I was like, damn, because that's how great the quality of his things.
But this is
that's what we could do with the blacks.
1920s style though, right? Like it smacks.
Polo?
Boomy. Oshun Boomy, right? Tunde. No, she's in the cannabis space too. Anyway, she's who put me on.
Once
they
smoke a blunt, they know each other.
But she.
Okay, I'm sorry. A cone.
Yes, cones.
Yes.
Hey, I'm with that too. Yeah. So I'm not supposed to sit on the camera.
Talk your shit. I love it.
Anyway, so
I've heard of it.
Right. What? I've heard of it. But no, I mean the style that he's going at is very specific to like a time when segregation in America was like the thing. So like the idea that Polo Ralph Lauren, which granted, iconic American fashion designer, black people, I think, definitely took his brand and made it the worldwide popular that it is. I'm sure other people were wearing polo. I'm not saying that nobody was buying this stuff before, but the branding of it, black people made polo famous. Black people made
Wu-Tang.
Polo, made it famous. So for him to now say, okay, cool, let me ride that same wave and let me do this 1920 styled like Crocs and high socks kind of thing, Granted, the HBCU lands, and there is a brother who he partnered with.
Yes, who is owning the whole campaign. It's his idea. They brought him in. He's like the Dapper Dan, the young Dapper Dan.
Equity, or
he's getting money. He's getting paid to do the line
in equity.
And no, not in polo.
Remember what we just what we just looked at. Their annual revenue is over $6 billion.
Yeah, no, hell no. He's not gonna give him a piece.
And they're
of
only they're only giving $2 million back to the HBCU.
He should have asked for that though.
Why are you doing it?
He should have asked for that.
So again, it's pandering.
Let's just say, in general, somebody's wearing this in your family. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I ain't wearing that. I'm not wearing it.
So somebody's wearing it, you snatching it off their back? What you do?
They pay it. They pay for it. It's whatever. I mean, I might mention something to them, but I'm not snatching it off their back.
I mean, it brings in like the Virgil Abloh conversation, though, right? Like, you get a chance as a black designer to be a part of the top joint.
Now I fuck with that. So like no shade on the little homie that got his shit. No shade on him, right? And go get your bag.
Right.
Go get your bag, right? I'm not a designer. I don't do clothes. Clearly. No, I'm fly as fuck. You gotta relax. Shout out to RSL. You know what I mean? Black owned. Okay? Ambassador.
What's RSL?
Rhodes Scholar Life.
Rhodes Scholar Life.
Yeah. Rhodes Scholar Life.
He's a principal of a high school.
Yeah. You know.
He's got some dope hoodies. Yeah.
What does it say?
Dope fashion.
Black Lives Matter?
Yeah.
No, Black Scholars Matter.
Oh, so I can't see from
That's fine. I'll get you some glasses.
What's the angle? But anyway.
No, like, again, I'm glad that my little homie got his bag. And I'm going to get his name, but continue talking. I think he went to Morehouse, and he was already in that space. So for him, that's a huge win.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. It is.
I'm not saying if I was him, I'm gonna turn it down. Like, no, you didn't fuck with us back then. No, like, he's Gen X or Gen I, right? So, you know, he's supposed to get the bag, right? Mm-hmm. It's a good look. I've seen a lot of graduates and people who are at Spelman and Morehouse now. They're like, oh, no, I'm fucking with it, right? They're young.
It's a touchy situation.
Would you consider him a pawn in this?
See, that's what I don't know. That's what I don't know, man. Yes. That's what. But also,
at this age, yes. If I was in school with him, or I was 2 years removed, 3 years removed from his social group, nah, bro, like, do your thing. Like, get your money. Like, I love it, right? But a lot of people don't do their homework. Maybe he has. And maybe he
Ralph
says,
Lauren's a pawn in his.
But also, right, I was going to say, he can definitely be leveraging this to become Ralph's competitor. You know what I'm saying? Like
I did this. He thought I was good enough.
Kanye's quote? You ain't Ralph.
It ain't Ralph, though.
It ain't Ralph, though.
Houseway.
Yeah, you should have definitely had that key up. Right. All right. We definitely can't waste too much time here because we got to get to the all women segment. But we got to get to the topic here. And there's other stuff that we're going to talk about, but this is an important topic. It would be blasphemous for us to have this conversation without women on set.
Okay.
So the topic is this. Go ahead. You tell the topic.
I'm sorry. Can I ask a question? You said we got to get to the all women segment, but aren't you technically always talking about women?
Huh? No, I mean the all women.
Whoever you're talking about, we birthed y'all.
Yeah, well, okay.
You always talking
that
about.
was really ethereal how you did that. Yes.
Oh shit! Well, we gave a reel for y'all live. We gave a reel for y'all live. Now let's be clear.
You said that earlier. Women,
yes, I get it.
Facts.
I get it.
That was gangster.
You wouldn't have made it through this first year of your life without.
I wouldn't have made it through no years of my life.
For sure.
But at least you would have.
So that's perfect. That's
perfect. Just meant
that's
four women sitting on the microphone.
I love that. Right. So should a real man pay all the mortgage or all the rent?
You said a real man?
A real man. Quote
unquote real man.
What type of ideal world are we living in?
Well, we're just saying it's not about ideal. It's
Come on with the bullshit.
It's your own personal like.
You're going to down that ledge. I need you to stand there. Okay.
My own personal. I feel like people need to decide within their own realm what works best for them. There's no once again, like you said, you were talking about right and wrong. Like it's all about what that particular person is. If you can sleep at night with somebody paying all your rent or not paying all your rent, then that's what it is.
Or you paying all the rent.
Or the thing is, let's say the woman makes more money than the man. Is he still supposed to pay all the rent? Like you know, it's all those little things that you have to take into consideration because no relationship is cookie cutter that way.
And
So
these are the things that have separated the black family.
Because you believe like pay all that shit.
No. I don't believe anything. Again, I do believe. I believe whatever everything. I feel like to each his own, to each her own. But if it was an ideal world, black men would be killing it so much where this wouldn't even be a conversation. This is my house. I'm a provider. I'm a protector. This is my family. This is my legacy in an ideal world. But that's not
Check out the big brain.
Hey. No, but that's not the world we living in. We are literally fighting for our lives. So for you to be sitting up fighting about whether or not he took you to Dubai this year or...
Wow.
Y'all both want to work.
Look what her mind go. She ain't talking about Miami, LA, New York. This motherfucker said Dubai.
I'm sorry.
Step y'all shit up. Step y'all shit
I was
up.
only talking about that because I was like giving myself with talking to my dad the other day. I was like, looking at how you were talking about it's only 11 states that you've not been to. So I'm like putting my pins and like, okay, this is where I've been. And I was
Serial
like,
killer
I
shit.
need
I feel
my
you.
ass beat. I flew over Africa to go to Dubai.
Wow.
I was like, I didn't even think about that.
Africa, that's
Like,
crazy.
That's
I
trash.
just passed.
but a lot of black people have.
Me either.
That's the thing.
You said a lot
Yeah,
of
a lot
people.
have
black
gone to
people
Dubai.
have
I was like,
gone
how
to
do we get
Dubai.
sold on
Africa
Dubai?
Yeah,
or
not
whatever.
Ghana.
But
Yeah.
Tulum is
Or
what,
Europe,
a 3 hour
or,
flight, an hour. It's like I
you've been
literally
there
got on a plane for like more than half a day,
Yeah,
and
that's
flew past. Like,
That's deep.
That's crazy.
and
I hadn't thought
stopped,
about
and
that. I
it
never
just
thought
Your
was
credit
like,
score is going down.
Is it going up a little bit because I acknowledged it? I'm
Yes.
trying to
I definitely
repair
appreciate
it.
that. I definitely appreciate
I
that.
was like, yo,
And you brought it to
Yeah,
my
you bugging,
conscience.
yo.
I haven't
You
even
bugging.
thought. I've never thought about the idea that like people who go to Europe, people who go to other places,
right there.
like legit forego Africa. I never even thought about that
Yeah.
to this moment.
That's the way it's marketed, though.
Yeah, that's
it
cool.
is.
What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was gonna say before when we were talking about men paying all rent, I was gonna go into men wanting to. Oh yeah, I want to have be polygamous or things like that. Let's go into that. Why men in certain other countries can do that? They can do that because they can afford it.
Look at the
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
Hey, whoever you are,
Talk
fam,
your shit.
She's talking to
Talk
you.
your
I
shit.
hear people saying that happens because they have enough to supply for their family. So it's
That's
just a different
facts.
culture.
Let
That's
a
all.
lot
Yeah.
of shit
Hey,
ride.
Hey, look.
when you
If a
sleep
motherfucker
well at night.
make 40
When you can
million,
sleep well at night.
that cheat don't hit the same if you make
It
40,000.
don't. You like,
You know what I mean? Like, I get it.
yeah. Like,
This is
dude, how
a
much
lot.
do I really care about?
Facts.
So I love the conversation about historical wealth, right? The idea that like to be wealthy in America as a black man is already a challenge in general. I love that part because it definitely tunnels the percentage of black men that can afford to pay the mortgage just off GP, right? Now you don't have to live
And
in no
not
super
because you're
lavish
lazy.
house. Yeah, not because you're lazy either. I mean, you can have a basic ass house, it's $200,000 house, whatever. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But I do love that conversation about the historical ability to have that kind of wealth. Like you said, it wouldn't even be I'm sure it's not a conversation in white households.
Yeah.
I don't know many white
Jay-Z is
households, but
fighting
I
with Beyonce
assume.
about who's paying the
No, hell no. Well, maybe though. I mean, but maybe though. I don't know.
No, they got rich
They got
nigga
big-
problems. They got rich nigga
billionaire
problems.
Marion
Yeah.
said it is a conversation in white
Yeah,
households.
I would imagine. Yeah. Oh, it is. Oh, okay. Yep. Well, I'm gonna stay out of that personal one.
doubt
But,
it.
We'll
got some
have
riches?
to have that conversation
I definitely
on another
But I
episode.
also think it's something to say. Like I'm like you. My thing is I don't believe in roles anymore. Right? Like, I do think I was raised. My mother was an at-home mom. Didn't work a day job. She took care of the kids. Cooked. And I definitely benefited from having that type of a home center. The ability to come home from school, see my mom every day. The first thing she does. Puts me, take off your book bag, put your shoes where they're supposed to be. Like that having that consistency, here's your food, right? So-and-so, the teacher called, what happened? Like having that, the thing about having a stay-at-home mom for me was like, it's an automatic check. Like I don't come home and then figure out what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go in the room. Like there's somebody there that as soon as I get in the door, we're going to go over this list of things for whatever they may be. So it was very, 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 beneficial for me to have that, right? That being said, I understand everybody doesn't have access to that. Some people's moms have to work. Some people's moms have to do things. My dad, he worked, but he wasn't really big on talking. So it was like when he came back from work, it was like, yeah. Talk
that
to your
men?
mama.
Yeah, no, that's definitely some man shit.
Era, right? They're born in the 40s. You know,
they learned that from their fathers.
Men provide and women take care of the kids.
They were in their 40s when I was like 8, 9 years old. So you know, and they came out of the whole Black Power struggle. So there's also the value system that they got together on is different than what it is now, right? So I hesitate to say that, like, I think there should be a man should just pay. Do I understand as a man what goes into the idea that you should provide? Absolutely. Do I believe staunchly that to be a leader in any capacity, you should definitely be able to put down what you say you want to happen. Don't suggest to people what we should do. Make it happen. So I do feel I personally feel compelled, like, I don't want to live under somebody else's thumb, somebody else's
So hold on.
Okay. My point being, though, I think the partnership that you have with your partner, I think that's where it becomes key, right? If she is making more money, fine. End of the day, I don't care who's making more money. We splitting all this shit. All this is 50-50. You hear me? So we not doing none of Yeah. Everybody contributing.
That's how I was raised. Right? That's how I was raised. But I want to play this clip.
You buy the tickets, I'll buy the dinner.
Right.
You turn out like
it's man code. This man law.
Check it out.
Should be paying that mortgage. Pay the mortgage. You can let her pay the utility, little shit there, but pay the mortgage, bare minimum at least. You know what I'm saying? Because this is your
man law shit right there.
That's man law shit. Man law number one, bro. Pay the rent, pay the mortgage. And they always be like, yo, but she got to come to the table, and she don't got to bring shit to the table when it comes to financially. Let me put this in perspective. If you require your woman to bring financial asset or gain to the table, you're telling her that, and she works in a corporate arena or in a position or in a business where it requires her to be masculine, you're asking her to maintain a level of masculinity throughout your relationship while also saying that I want you to be feminine. But if you got a wife, bro.
See, he lost me when he went to the feminine conversation.
Like
I was with him.
But I understand that though. Right? So it's like either you're going to be all man or you're not. Right? And clearly, in my opinion, he was raised from, I got it, you don't have to do nothing. Mm-hmm. Right? That's not every man's story. Right?
That's the same dude that before he got it was talking about something. I just need a ride or die sister that's just gonna hold me down because I'm gonna be out here grinding. Like,
is that a real fact?
It's an easily flipped narrative.
No, I don't agree.
Here's my question about that. His particular example was the mortgage. A house is an investment. It's not just your home, it's your investment. Facts. So if you're paying all of the mortgage, if this goes awry or if this house that we bought,
retain?
Is it mine too?
Great
or is
point.
it
or
yours?
Is it yours?
Great
now?
point.
Don't have me paying the light bill and ain't no value in this. No. I helped on this. So it's like, is this your house? Or is this my house? Because real life, and I'm about to tell my business a little bit. Growing up, my stepmom did not work. My dad did. And when my stepmom used to be like, this is my house. Me, 8-year-old me was like,
no.
But it's her house. Like, that's the type
she
of
runs
man
the household.
No. It's her house. My father and her have been together, and that is her house.
Yeah.
That's the type of man my father is.
Got it.
Said I was going to provide this. I'm going to provide it, whether I'm with you or not. Some people might be like, that's foolish. Me, probably.
No, I
one
think
of
that's
them,
solid.
But I also think
No,
it's
she is
honorable.
trash.
Yeah.
I also think it's honorable.
Go, Mr.
My
Marlowe.
father
It's the community.
did what he said he was going to do.
And
Maybe
for the right reason.
He wasn't loving you through sickness and health and through good times and bad. But that provide part, I mean, and I don't know. I don't know how my father
I
feels.
love that part,
I'm just saying this marriage didn't last, but what I said that I would do, I did.
That's gangster.
That's tough.
That's really gangster.
So
I'm not okay with paying all of the bills. Just not.
because you could do bad by yourself.
No, because you using some of this shit too.
Right.
No. It's not about doing bad by myself. Like, I'm actually better without you. Let me be fucking clear.
And
right?
that's why a lot
because
of men
who
don't
knows
want
what
to
the
get
fuck you
married
come
now.
with.
But once again, that's why a lot of men don't want to get married now, because they kind of like, what is the benefit at the end of the day? Like, I can go and have kids.
Now,
with somebody.
I'm a married man. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
fucking honest, right? Mm-hmm. Being a married man, there are two things that I gained from being married. One, I learned myself. Two, I learned how to share my space. That's it.
Damn. I mean, you don't mean that's it. Like
no,
all.
but I'm just.
That's
Right.
enough, though, right?
For me and growth, right? I could have been okay without my wife, right? But I'm better with her.
Ting, ting, ting.
You know what I'm saying? Let me be
But
clear.
that's why you're still married.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But there's no man that wakes up every day and says, I can't wait to get married.
That's a fact.
It never happens.
But you know what? I don't think.
Never happens. Now, a man will wake up and say, I
wanna
can't
have
wait
kids,
to see
right.
who I'm gonna hit tonight.
Nah, you going?
No, it's a real. No,
I mean, okay, that happens
That's
too.
the first thing
But that's
on
not-
your mind.
But those are not. Yeah,
You
see,
need
that's
to
what I'm
think
saying.
about
Like,
your
those are two
priorities.
separate
As a
conversations.
man, that's the
I'm
first
trying
thing on your mind.
to before men grow up. I'm trying to tell
How am I
you.
gonna get some
But
money?
wait,
Before men grow up.
And they get money to do
Okay,
what?
okay.
They get money to get
To
women.
take women
Is
out.
that
Yes,
what it's
true.
about?
Yes.
They
Yes.
get cars,
Men
so you
get
don't have
cars
heart
and
palpitations, like,
money
oh,
and
God.
everything.
men-
so they
if-
can get women.
If men have
Definitely not
never
heart
had a father in their lives, right? We stray. And what we stray on and what we prey on is women. I'm trying to be
Wait,
honest
said
with you.
men run that back 4 seconds.
Men who have not had fathers, they stray. And what they stray on and they prey on is women.
Sounds like a rap line he wrote.
Connect
Not
it
at all.
for me. Why is it the father? Because that's
I say
you
that
thought
all
your
the time.
father
Make
was
it
a
make
Rolling
sense.
Stone
No,
type of-
just your father wasn't there for whatever reason. Maybe your mother made a bad choice and the father she decided to keep you. Maybe you know what I mean, he left for whatever reason, right?
Okay.
Maybe she put someone else in your life and you know the child is like, man, stepdad type shit, right? Like there are a million things that happens when you're dealing with raising a son. It gets crazy. And guess what? The only thing that we know how to do is eat. And when I say eat, now, and I'm breaking it down in its simplest terms, when we see women based on our uncles, our older family members, right? We're only taught to go kill, right? We're not taught to understand this woman.
What to do after that? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
True.
I got you.
Right?
True.
So it's like, man, all I want to do is have sex. That's all I want to do is as a kid growing up and going through my adolescence and young adulthood.
So you don't learn about women also from your interaction with your mom and your sister?
For sure you do. For sure you do.
Yeah.
Absolutely you do. But
if you have access to that, and if they are themselves, you know, able to, so you know, to your, actually, you make a great point, right? I say this all the time. I started coaching football out of college, and the guys I was coaching with, they were all 40, 50 years old, and we had coaches meetings, and I was actually like trying to be a coach, like because my football career ended when I found out I was going to be 5'9" forever, and
135
more
pounds.
than 142 pounds, right? Like I just like knew for a fact it was never going to happen for me, right? So I was like, okay, I got to go into coaching, right? So I wanted to be a coach. These coaches meetings turned out not to be shit about football. It turned out to be how 5 grown men get away from their wives and girlfriends and sit in the garage and drink beer and smoke and talk shit about all the shit that we.
That's what bars were
But
made
what's
for.
crazy?
That sounds like it's cheating.
No. Because and I know this now because I'm 40 now. I didn't know this at 21. At 40, you can't tell your wife I'm going to the bar without her giving you some smoke.
That is
now I
true.
can go to the coaches meeting in the garage.
Why she not going to the bar too?
In the house that she owns.
Like,
I can
she
do
with
that,
kids.
right? But what I'm saying
Have
is,
no damn kids.
so my point still is,
FDK, fuck them kids. I keep trying to tell you.
Look, I asked her why
Winning,
she not going to
winning,
the bar too.
winning,
Her
winning.
question was the kids.
They with the
why
kids.
she not going to the bar too? Why she care if you going
oh
to the
yeah,
bar?
no,
She
no,
at home
yeah,
with
yeah.
kids.
Oh, and she also don't like your friends, but but I'm just saying in general,
She
I do
don't have
think
to go to the bar with his friends.
You
no,
can
that's
go
where he
call
go.
your
He wanted to go
friends.
with
Yeah,
his
but
friends.
she said why
Call
is
her
the
friends.
woman not going to the bar? And I said, cause
Oh,
she
with
at
her
home with the
friends.
kids.
Oh,
She at home
got
with
it.
the
Yeah.
kids.
Not you need
Because
to
he paying the rent. Because he paying
Because
the
he
mortgage.
paying the mortgage, so
paying
she
the
got
mortgage.
yeah, it's true. All of this gets back to the same point. I think at the
See, look how petty y'all get. Look how petty y'all get.
where you get money
You know this shit, you know what I mean? This motherfucker light cut off $50. You done went and spent $55.
Yo, let me tell you, man.
Y'all petty as hell,
I
man.
think that
We got money stashed,
You love it.
man.
You love it.
No, we hate it. We hate it.
I love it. Let me tell you right now. And I'm on record. There are people in my family, there are people in my life from high school that can verify this. I said in high school, I want to be a stay-at-home dad. And everybody looked at me, especially my homies.
That's
What?
funny as shit.
What kind of weirdo shit is that? I
Says
said,
the
"Let me
man
tell
that
you
has no kids.
something." I said, let me tell you something. Right. We talk about why. But
Right, it's a shortage of good women out
ultimately,
here.
what I recognized at that moment, this is early 90s, right? This is mid 90s. I graduated 2000, so I'm a freshman in 96. Literally what I realized at that moment was like, this is when I started to see black women, because again, my mother was a stay-at-home mom. I started to see in the news, right, on TV, black women taking over. Started looking and seeing like the biggest corporations at the time had a black woman in the C-suite. Right. Mm-hmm. She wasn't she wasn't running the company, but she was the head accountant. Mm-hmm. She was, the head operations manager, whatever, right? All of the big companies had a black woman doing something very important, right? Yep. So I started seeing like, well, them the type of women I like. I like the women that be killing shit out here, like gangster. And I could just walk, and I could just stand right and be like, yeah, I dare you to fuck with her. I dare you. What you got? Like, let her go do what she doing.
You gonna be Dave Chappelle on Oprah. That's what you want to be.
Exactly. That is the exact skit. Except
Stanley, why you calling?
Difference is he was just, all he was doing was counting the money. I was trying to like protect the lady doing the important shit. And I love kids. That's why I'm a teacher. And I love like the idea of being a nurturing dad, because I love my father to death, but we didn't have that kind of relationship. We didn't have to like go in the backyard and throw the ball, and you know what I'm saying? We didn't have that kind of relationship. I respected everything that he had to do because he was paying the mortgage. Mm-hmm. He was paying the bills, right? Mm-hmm. For multiple children through multiple marriages, which I'm trying to get to. The reason why black men don't focus on marriage is because, just like that clip we was just watching, divorce is a financial fucking fail when you are married. It is
for the man.
Almost 95% of the time,
we lose the money and we lose our kids.
And Did you hear Mary J. Blige say that she had to go on tour to pay her
alimony?
Yeah, pay her alimony.
But she is
shout out to his attorney.
First of all, so did she not have a prenup? I don't know if you guys. I don't
know. When she married the Sony guy. Oh no, I'm talking about Janet Jackson.
Dude was a player. Dude was a player, and he ended up getting alimony for his, or at that time, her stepdaughter, whatever. But I did see, she like, man, I like to move. I like to move. You know what I mean? I don't want to be held back. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have any responsibilities. Mm-hmm. And that's cool. I get it. Like, that's some man shit. You know what I mean? Men fuck up. We just shoot the club up. You know what I'm saying? And do dumb shit. And now you stuck with who you chosen to now raise your seed.
Which is why I don't have kids.
Absolutely.
I wanted to be very intentional about who the mother of my child is. Because I expect, and it's sad to say this, but the reality is like, I don't expect that back to the whole polygamy conversation later, but I don't fully think that two people are going to be able to live together for 50 some odd years anymore. Not in 2022. When you couldn't take flights to Tulum and Dubai and shit, when you didn't have Instagram, when you couldn't see what was going on in everybody else's lives every day, when you had to marry the person, right? Without nobody knowing or figuring the shit out, right? Because you got a Google and you got this computer in your phone. All of that shit, I think that's done. I think if you married for 50, 60 years, that's real love that was unchallenged. God made that.
Is it real love or real friendship and respect?
And commitment, all that. Yeah. But I just think that ultimately I accept that if I get married, there's probably a high chance I get divorced. I need to be able to get divorced and still have a great relationship with the mother of my child for the child's sake. So that the marriage dissolving can't be the focus.
My mom and my dad told me this thing that I'm about to say, and they watch the show, it's fine. On 2 separate occasions, my father told me, I love your mama for sure,
but I can't listen.
No. No, he said that too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if shit get buried, I'm out of here, right? But he said, look, no, this is actually a business agreement. My mom said to me,
to your point about
the same exact shit. Now, can they live without each other? Probably not.
They absolutely can.
They've done it. But what I'm saying, at this point, I mean, they've been married fucking 40 some odd years.
That's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? But
they built their own estate away from all other people.
The crazy shit is that they both think the same way. Yeah. Right? And they found some middle ground.
But that's not your biological father. Your mom met him after your biological father.
But once again, business agreement, like you said,
business.
It's what's in it for me.
It's your goals being aligned at the end of the day.
And
not this like, oh, you give me butterflies.
Because that's gonna
I respect you as a person.
Okay.
I don't always like you.
Right.
But the love, me wanting to see what's good for you, whether it's with me or without me. But
really,
choose to. I mean, that's love.
That's dope,
to me.
though.
Why do you have
I love
to be
that.
in the picture?
I love that.
Why do you have to be? Why I got to be a part of the story in that way? My part of the story may have been, and
that part was great.
And you built that. Look, this conversation going for so
that.
long.
No, I love it.
To wrap this up.
I love it. I mean, we can edit it. We can chop it up. It don't matter.
But her mama. Like, we literally got her mama sitting there somewhere.
Texted me down like,
somebody should vibrate over there. But all right,
I'm over there.
Just to that last point, because that I feel like we can't just run that over. The concept that you can be with a person. And that the time for you at that time, the time for them at that time was beneficial, and it didn't work out, doesn't mean that time needs to be erased, nor does it mean that this individual needs to be found to be somebody like he ain't shit because of X, Y, Z, or she ain't shit.
Why they a terrible person because it didn't work?
And I spent that much time with you. Something must have been.
Something was good at
you
that time.
You don't have to rip the tires and do what. If you had a good time, that was a good time, and then move on to the
emotion.
next.
But it's a
emotion,
difference.
but
I think it's sometimes people respond to being manipulated, but then I think sometimes now we get to this point where you think I literally read an article the other day where this woman was saying she was dating a guy for like 7 years and all of this, and it was like she kept using language like he was a manipulator, and it's like never in the story did she say he lied to her. He was dating 2 girls. Both of them knew about each other. He never once said, I want to marry you. He's sitting in the bed with you telling you if I was going to marry anybody, it would be her. And that's to you when the light bulb went off. But I'm like, to that degree, he had been transparent with you over the 7 years. You told yourself the story that you wanted to tell.
You told yourself you were better than what you were.
We do that. Yeah. You want to see what you want to see in a person. But here's the aha. And this happens more than we like to admit. She ain't even like him like that. She started the story out saying like he was good on paper, but I ain't even really like him like that. But you convinced yourself that he was better than he was, or y'all were more than what you were, instead of just like, you lonely right now, so he's filling a void. And the same thing with him. Like, he think you cool. You think he cool. But do I want to spend the rest of my life with a guy?
Are women competitive? Are y'all really that?
We are competitive, but I think when it comes down to, for me, I can't say for anyone else. I keep saying this. I feel like there is 2 circles, right? There's happiness and there's husband. And I feel like a lot of women, their goal is husband. Right. Me personally, I want to be in that sweet spot in the middle.
The Venn diagram shit.
Pay attention.
Right. That's my goal. But I'm going to always choose my happiness first.
Yeah, that's hard.
And if a man does that, he's a shitbag. If I choose my happiness over the relationship,
we've been together this
then I'm an asshole. I'm some kind of misogynistic person who's, like you said, manipulating women.
I think sometimes it's the way you guys do it, though.
That's
the way you guys communicate. The lack of communication is really what it is.
Because I'm over here thinking.
Because you can't handle the truth.
Oh.
No.
She about to hit you over the box of truth.
You guys don't want to deal with the front end bullshit. Not bullshit, the front end shit, really.
So you mean like early on?
Yeah, like just say what you have to say to the person, get the messy part out of the way, and then keep moving on. But what they do is you either ghost, you don't say what you need to do, and then it goes on and on and on and on and on, and then you have to deal with it at the end. And then it just gets messy at that point where you just say, you know what, this is not what I want, and and you're a great person. It's just I'm not feeling the energy is not right or whatever. It's nothing you did, whatever it is.
Because you want what you want,
right? But this is not what I want. I don't see us forever. But you'll go and start dating other people and then not talking to the person and doing what I've seen everything under the sun, either from friends or myself.
Or from yourself, yeah.
Right, or from myself.
No shit.
And I just be like,
40.
really?
We out here. We been through some shit.
And I'll be like, really? That's like, we grown now. Like, you could have just told me from the get-go, but I guess, I don't know if they think I'm on knock windows out or do whatever.
Listen,
it is.
angry black woman is a real thing.
I am not that person. I'm cool. I'm like
angry
cool with most exes I am great friends with. But once we got through that, hey, why weren't you just honest with me from the get-go? then they're like, I was afraid, I was scared.
I actually want to wrap up, but because I know.
This is Women's History Month. We can't make
Hey ma.
I'm leaving.
Right.
I have to ask this.
Oh, dang,
I have to ask this. Are you okay as a woman, with communicating with an ex when you're in a
new relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ideally, I would like to say yes, right? But am I going to be happy about it? Probably not. But I think people going to do what they're going to do.
So when you leave relationships,
I want to sit here and be like,
yeah, kumbaya
that's
and shit.
right. Yeah, I want to sit here and say that. But the fact is, you can't control what people are going to do regardless. You can control what they're going to tell you.
Can you?
If you act like this a problem, a person is not going to sit up unless they just don't give a fuck about your feelings. We don't talk. And your ass going to be happy. Ignorance is bliss. And then you go, you told me you don't talk to them.
Why you lie?
Because you just look. But now you arguing about what? Are you leaving?
So is that is that an insecurity in the man?
It's people. People are
I was gonna say
insecure.
women do that too. Yeah.
You know, most men. I don't know. I literally legit just had this conversation this week. He was like, "I ain't going." Nah, you ain't talking to him.
You can't talk to no exes.
Hell nah. That was him, and I was like,
there's some appreciation within that. Like I'm not 100% against that.
When a man, I'm gonna give y'all some super game, right? You can have friends.
He gonna give y'all some. It's
you can have friends.
I've never
right?
heard a more mansplained intro. I'm finna give y'all super.
You can have friends. Knock yourself out, right? But if that friend has seen you at your most vulnerable state, and I'm talking about sexually, right? That's not your fucking friend.
No, it's not true. It's what the issue is. The issue is
that's for me. That's for me.
The issue is the insecurity that person got to see you at a vulnerable state, and they got
why
to
the
be
fuck
there
are y'all
for you.
friends, right? If the friendship is so dope, right? Then why the fuck are y'all done?
So if relationships are supposed to be friendship plus the intimacy,
yes,
and that intimacy,
you fuck with them Venn diagrams. You got lots of them.
I know.
So
that's your shit.
I'm visual.
So that
I have difficulty like articulating my words. So
that nigga dick was trash as fuck, right? It's okay for you to still be cool with him.
Or like maybe he was a cheater, or maybe you wanted all the bills paid and he wasn't about that life, or maybe he just was.
So then why have conversations?
We gotta stop asking questions.
No, I love this. This is women's history. I have to answer the. We will edit it later, but this is great. Like we'll make it work. But I do not want to miss this.
Come back.
Yes,
that's what I was trying to say. It's like the world ain't gonna end tomorrow.
Okay, all right. I apologize.
More episodes.
I apologize.
It could because we don't have breathalyzers in our cars.
Look at your petty. Look at your petty.
Just drop the mic. Drop the mic. That didn't work the way I thought it was gonna work. But
hey, look, man.
But really quickly,
it would have worked if you would use my mic.
It's episode 90. Where we at? 91?
Is this 91 or 92?
Wait, stop.
No, it's definitely 91.
Okay, 91.
Before
91
we go,
was a good
we
year.
do have to say,
Facts.
for real. From the Corner Convo, from our brother Abasi, who couldn't be here today because he did have
he missed out.
surgery. Yeah, he gonna be mad as hell.
We held it down for you,
and we
Abasi.
still told you to come.
Two of us.
Yeah. Do you know how big he is? He like 6'9", 275 pounds.
I don't know Abasi, but
Abasi
get well
definitely.
soon.
Yeah.
What?
Anyway.
I told him to play through the wire for me.
Wait a minute. First of all,
Cut that up. Thank you.
The fuck?
Flowers to you two women for everything that you've done, everything that you do. It is very important. Like you said, the world could end tomorrow, and that's definitely not going to happen. I'm putting that out in the ethos, but it would be amazing to be able to feature you all's stories and who you all are and everything that you all do. So thank you very much for pulling up.
Thank you.
And for Rika, for Shamir, for Marion. This has been dope. It definitely helps us to make sure that we're celebrating women in our community during Women's History Month. So, ting.
Thank you.
Now hit the music.
Now this is episode 91.
It's the Bulls championship year.
91.
Next 3 episodes is Bulls championship.
Yeah.
No, that boy's he's pop.
You done?
Man, hit the music, man. God damn.
Yo, this is Women's Month on the Corner. We are very appreciative to have the opportunity to highlight and spotlight folks that are doing major things in our city. Welcome to the corner, ladies.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shamir Brown, and I am a independent project manager. I specialize in digital transformations as well as process improvements. And my day job is a senior sales programs manager. In the technology industry, I manage an international team.
Hello, everybody. My name is Aston Hayes. By day, I am a marketing manager in wine and spirits, and by night, I am an app developer for Tip Off Games LLC. We specialize in mobile and digital gaming apps.
Hey, everybody. Rika Lee, owner of Black Girl Luxury Furs and Chief Operating Officer for Charter School Network.
Hi, Quinn Bryant, cannabis marketing strategist and writer of What Would Jay-Z Do?
I guess I'll kick it off. I think most of us are probably Gen Yers and millennials, I'm assuming on the thing. So I feel like we come from a generation where we haven't pretty much put ourselves in a box like our parents did, where they meet somebody and it's like, oh, what do you do? And they do this one thing and they've done that one thing their whole life, and so it's kind of made them who they are. We're to the point now where whatever your passion is, we're not afraid to go after it. We've been taught that we can do multiple things. So, I come from a background. My family pretty much did that their whole life. They would, whatever their passion was, they would do that on the side or be an entrepreneur in that, and then also, have a corporate job. So it was kind of came naturally to me to just kind of do the same thing.
I think for me, as a independent consultant, I have a little bit more flexibility. I get to select the projects I want, how long they last. I select my own rate. And so because I have a full-time 9-to-5, I ensure that the projects that I create or participate in only extend about 20 to 25 hours a week, so that I'm not experiencing any burnout. So that way I can do my day job, give 100%, and then do my business at the same time. So that flexibility really, really helps.
I like it. So for me, I also, like Aston, come from a family of entrepreneurs. And so for as long as I can remember, having multiple streams of income was always the most important thing. So working a 9-to-5, came naturally, but also having that hustle on the side or having that, other way to bring in income. So for me, doing both, because McKinney kind of asked how do you do both? And so it's always just been a very natural sort of go-to for me to work a job and have a sort of a hustle on the side. So
for me, the writing is more therapeutic. So it was just something that I was always doing. It was just a matter of putting it all together with one theme. Especially as far as the What Would Jay-Z Do book, I listen to Hov every day, no exception.
She does. She does.
It's just it was more of a passion project for me, and it just kind of made sense. And again, writing was something that I was doing since a kid. I just didn't know what it was for. So, and my job is my job. I'm good at it. It's not necessarily a passion. The passion is making sure to see faces like mine are in that space, since faces like mine are in jail because they were in that space. But work is work. But writing is from my heart. I got this. So my aunt Melva was actually a head librarian for CPS when she was living. And just from as far back as I can remember, every time I would see her, she'd put a book in my hand. So that just kind of became the thing for me. And she just was always a bit like, she kind of reminds me of Aston. Like at this point, Aston is always moving, involved in something, helping someone. And so picture my Aunt Melva. That
we would have been friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, for me, it's my mother who is a finance guru. And again, entrepreneur. She stepped out. She was vice president of her company over 20 years ago, 30 years ago now almost, and stepped out on that job, just her faith in herself and wanting to start her own consulting business. And she has not had to look back and does very well for herself. So she's always been my inspiration, just in terms of like, you can do anything. You can be a great mom. You can, be active in your community. You can have your own business. And so I just watched her shine. And she drives me.
Oh, that's sweet. I love it.
No, she's the best.
Mine is my grandmother. My grandmother never met someone that did not like her. She was great at networking. I feel like I'm great at networking. I'll talk to anybody. Yeah. She was bold and unafraid, and I tend to try to walk that way. So I spent a lot of time with her. My mom was, like I mentioned before, my mom was a flight attendant. So about half the week I was with my grandmother. So I was kind of like my mother anyway. Love the Dollar Tree just like her. So she put me on the Dollar Tree. And making something out of nothing. Like literally she will find anything in her cabinet and make a meal out of it. And I don't know. And it tastes good every time. So I'm not really sure how that happened. I still haven't gotten to that point yet. But the talking to anybody and networking, I definitely got that from her.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on that. It's my grandmother as well. My grandmother came from Jamaica in the 70s. She started off cleaning houses, and then she went from cleaning houses to having eventually working at a factory, and then she still kept cleaning houses. My grandmother as a true Jamaican woman, had like 3, 4, 5 jobs. She was always doing something. Job. Right, 13 job, exactly. And I think I get my worth ethic from her and just the ability to save. Like I said, coming from a different country, sending for her kids, getting a house, and really establishing a life here in the States. I mean, tenacity is just the word I kind of summarize her energy as.
So, y'all, as y'all can see, I stay in the gym.
As we can see, you looking fit, sir.
I look good, right? What do y'all do? We talk a lot about mental health on the show. Right? We're in the gym. Where are y'all at in the gym as far as your physical health?
This is the gym I go to. So, yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm an Orange Theory girl. So I work out probably Monday through Friday, trying to get that. I think it's more so a stress reliever. Like if I lose weight, if I look good, that's fine. But it keeps me nice, keeps me mellow and calm, and exerting that. I keep this nice to my white counterparts because. Okay. Because sometimes they are habitual button pushers, and sometimes you got to get it out at 5 a.m. so that you can be like, "Hi, Claire, how are you? I'm fine." So can we do that in your show?
Well, my workout does not do that for me. I get people together quick.
I work out. Like I said, I'm wine and spirit, so usually late nights is going out drinking and eating with people, and clearly that can wreak havoc on your body. So I make myself go to the gym, but it also makes my day go better when I go to the gym. I'm not an evening workout person. I have to go. It's like the first thing I do in the morning, and it sets the tone for the rest of the day. So
so I would say in the last definitely 6 months or so, started with a personal trainer because unlike Aston, I don't enjoy working out like that. I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't like to work out, but I know how important it is for our health as Black women in particular. It just is paramount that we're physical, that we're working out. So I started working out with a trainer at another Black-owned gym called G-Fit. In the South Loop, and so I was able to kind of get that, just that routine going. Having a personal trainer, someone's going to push you, to hold you accountable and do those things. So since I've been working out, I feel like I'm stronger. I think I'm nicer. I don't know. Someone else might say otherwise. the peek around. I'm getting there. I'm a work in progress. But, it really helps we were talking about earlier, just the holistic. It's not just about looking good, but feeling good and mentally being in a good space. So when you present yourself to the world, you know, you're solid when you present yourself to the world. So.
And solid.
Yeah. For me, so probably about like 9 months ago, I started working out with a personal trainer, a friend of mine actually, who has his own gym training ground. So his background is football. So that's what the training feels like to me. It's actually pretty cool. I kind of feel like I'm on a team,
Nice.
which I literally never was in school. I was not that person. So I'm learning like some different like tools there, but just also like I work out at 7 a.m. So for me, it's like the hardest part of my day is done. Again, it does not make me nicer to people, but definitely just the confidence in myself.
Yeah.
How many mothers do we have on the panel?
I'm the only mom.
Oh,
Shut up.
great job. Let me tell you what. Who's the great job? 3 without, because kids ain't shit.
I'm a TT to many, though, which is why I'm not a mom.
A godmommy, a TT.
Yeah.
So, Margaret, let me ask you.
Okay.
With all the different hats that you hold, how do you parent your son? I love your son. He's an amazing guy.
Thank you.
Right? You've done a great job.
Thank you. We have help.
But what's that balance like with everything you have going on and then still trying to be a full-timer? Or be a full-timer?
Yes. So motherhood is first for me, obviously, and I take motherhood very seriously. But in terms of that work-motherhood balance, obviously having a partner, because I have a great partner who is solid in every way when it comes to helping to raise him. But it's hard. I'm not going to lie and say it's easy. I've missed some games recently since I started the fur business.
Nice
and
too.
Yeah, and it breaks my heart that I have to miss games. So it really is about just kind of prioritizing and communicating with him so he understands, you know, this is what mom is doing. I'm not just sacrificing being there for you just to hang out with my friends. It's like we're building a brand that hopefully, you know, well, he will obviously benefit from. But just communicate. He's old enough so I can communicate with him and let him know what time it is. But, yeah, just being intentional, making sure I still spend that time with him when it's available. And, yeah, it's not easy, but we do it.
Me personally, I don't get caught up in that. I'm who I am. I'm like a light switch. I'm either one of the nicest people you've ever met, or you like, or what not. The hell just happened type of thing. But what I always am is genuine and truthful. So whatever side of the fence I'm on, it's exactly what you deserve.
What sign does that make you?
Aries.
Aries all day, yeah.
You can
I was born Aries and Gemini. It was
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's not my experience at all. Like I wish I had that much freedom. I feel like I have to practice emotional intelligence daily. And because of my space in corporate America, either as an independent consultant in project management, you're tested. People test you regularly, and then being in the technical industry where there's not that many of us, I'm very mindful of my emotions because I know I am essentially the representative. And people don't say that, but I am the only one in the room and that they see. And so I need to make sure I practice emotional intelligence and niceties because I want to make space and room for others. And when I use my name as a referral, I need to make sure that you can do that and they don't say that that's, oh, Shamir, oh, that's the angry one.
But
oh, that's
what does
the
that
aggressive
cost
one.
you?
Right.
So and when I say I practice emotional intelligence, I also practice therapy and Jesus, and I do my Orange Theory, and I have ways to kind of exercise that restraint because you got to get it out. But I wish I could just give them truthfulness and authenticity, excuse me. But sometimes you don't pay me enough for that. And sometimes you just pay me enough for this smile and be like, okay. And I scream it out later. Thank God I work from home and remote, and I can turn off the camera and I can kind of deal with that. But I don't have the luxury of giving all that level of honesty because I put myself, my career, and others behind me at risk. So,
gotcha. I know Quinn and I actually had this conversation a couple hours ago where we talk about, we're to the age now where you can choose the kind of energy you want to be around. And so I am mindful of that with the friends that I pick, the places that I go, times a day that I do certain things, all because I know how my energy, what kind of energy I want to be around. And, I was saying the same thing about friends. You know who your turn up friends are. Yep. I'm not going to take my turn up friend to the networking event for work if they're not that type of person. I'm not going to take, my church friend to the strip club if they're not that type of person. It's just like you got to know what lane your people are in and you meet them in that lane. And I think that helps with not having even put yourself in those situations. Now, not saying those situations won't come because they do, but you can minimize them.
Yeah. What I don't do is make myself uncomfortable for someone else's comfort. And that's in any part of my life. But I think I said this before, a job to me is a job. My dad probably ruined me in that. I probably was 9, and he was like, never feel like you have loyalty to a company because they will never have loyalty to you. And candidly, that's how I've moved. I might stay at a company for a year. I don't think anybody thinks I'm going to be the company girl. But when I'm there, you're gonna get something good out of me. Yeah. And when you don't see that, I'm on my way out the door. So it is that being selective about who I put myself around, up to and including the company I work for. And the minute I feel like it's not for me, I move on. And hence the side hustle, the side business, the events, the books, the whatever. I can maintain my life on my entrepreneurship. I handle my retirement from my job, my insurance from my job, but I won't make myself uncomfortable for anyone else's comfort because I got to look at myself in the mirror at the end of the day. So
I know for me as just being an entrepreneur and a businesswoman, I've been with my company for 17 years, and I think it's like how yes, but you all know how it goes for I think Black businesses, period. You have to kind of operate on a whole nother level. It's just like I remember I went to and I don't want to drop the name specifically, but I went to a Black-owned restaurant, and I had like a really long wait time.
If they was trash, drop me off.
No. So this is my point, though. This is my point. And I actually was friends with the owner. And later on, he asked me, well, how was your experience that day? And I was like, well, being honest, it took a really long time, and my order wasn't right. And I said, but the brother there, he made it right. I guess he might have been like the shift manager. He gave me my food for free. And, the owner was like, what? He did what? And I didn't mean to get the brother in trouble. Wow. Looking back, I probably shouldn't have said that. But that level of customer service that he had, that niceness, those niceties is what will keep me coming back. So I feel like McDonald's doesn't have to give me my food for free when they mess up my order. You know what I mean? But that's still...
They don't?
The expectation. Well, no, I mean, and
they might, but they don't have to.
They don't have to because because the next person behind me and the 1,000 other people that's going to come through that drive-through that day, they're going to be fine. But I just felt like, and I agree with the whole feeling like you have to do more and be nice and do the extras because we operate and have Black-owned businesses. It just is what we have to do.
I do want to piggyback on that because I feel like temporary discomfort has actually increased my finances. And so, yes, I've had to smile sometimes when it's been uncomfortable with so on and so forth. But like you said, because of those niceties, I don't have to market myself as an independent consultant. Actually, my work finds me. I get referrals. Even at work, looking to grow in an international team, because I probably have eaten a little bit of crow. Now it's like, we're looking to expand. Maybe we should promote Shamir now. So it's a trade-off. And let me say this, I love my job. I do. But there are some things. There are some times, it's not always great. But because I've been able to balance and navigate those emotions and be palatable, I guess, if that's the word, I have been able to excel. So that's been my experience.
I guess I'm an acquired taste.
And that's okay.
Good question.
Yeah. Okay, before I lose my thought, I'm going to say, so I went to Seton Academy, which is, don't do that.
South Holland.
Yes, and it is closed now, but it was an all-girl Catholic school. For many years. Right. But in high school, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to own a nightclub. Today, I would never own a nightclub. But in high school, I was like, I don't know what I was thinking about.
That's what I'm like, where that?
I watched too many movies or something. I don't know, New Jack City or something. But I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Never wanted to work for anybody. So high school to now, no, I did not bring that to fruition completely. But I think it's cool to have entrepreneurial aspirations from such a young age, and you still kind of figure out how to make that happen. But so that's my answer.
People gonna be wearing your fur coats in the nightclub, though.
Yes,
we'll do that.
I'm probably a maturation of who I was. I think at heart I'm the same person, but I was super selective about who I shared that with before. Now I kind of give it away as I move about. Oh, I'm sorry, Morgan Park High School. I don't know now. I'm not so now. Back then it was what it was, but now who knows? I drive past it on the way to, Rainbow. So, but I think before I was just super selective about who I interacted with. While I'm still selective, I talk to people in the grocery store in like deep conversations. Like we'll be standing in the produce section talking for an hour because I'm like, what am I gonna get from this person? They're gonna teach me something, bring me some message that I needed. I would have never done that. High school, college, after college, it just wasn't happening. So I like that. I'm definitely more open-minded and more conversational with strangers than ever before.
I also graduated from a south suburban school, so HF Vikings, which is not because I wanted to. We moved out to the burbs, so I really wanted to go to Kenwood. That's why I wanted to go to Kenwood. But I got a good education though, so that was great on that point. But I was a pushover in high school, so I definitely made it a point when I went to college to not be that way, or to at least be more aware of it. I was the one, I had a car in high school, so I was dropping everybody off at home, burning gas, and trying to be the nice person, and this and because I had transferred into the school, so I was going over and above and beyond to try to make friends because I didn't really have a space to fit. But I think that is also one of the reasons why I'm good at networking, because it forced me to have to network and talk to different people. So I knew the jocks and the cheerleaders and, the nerds and whoever. Like, everybody was in their cliques, but I kind of just floated in between because I didn't really have a place that I belonged. But it helped me, obviously, in life later on because of that.
Yeah. I am completely different than I was in high school. I went to Proviso East High School.
No, say it one more time.
I went to Proviso East High School.
Just say it one more time.
I did say it one more time because we went to high school together. So that's that energy. That's that love right there. And I don't appreciate this hateration in this dancery. But like I was saying, in high school, I thought I would be a scientist, researcher, and specifically make hair products. So I was really good in chemistry, and then when I went to college, I majored in chemistry, chemical engineering. I did polymer research. I did all of the things, and I actually worked in pharma for 3 years, and then the economy crashed, and I ended up in tech. So it completely shifted. I'm no longer a scientist. I don't work in a lab anymore. And right now it's all corporate and really buttoned up. And also in high school, I did have my own business, though. I was a hair braider. And I went from hair braiding in high school to hair braiding in college. I was the residential hair braider, and I paid for books and all of the things, and I actually ended up being a licensed cosmetologist. So when I went to grad school...
Oh, wow.
When I went to grad school, I worked at a salon, and that paid for all of my accommodations when I was in grad school. So I guess I've been hustling still, but definitely elevated. Never imagined that I would be doing what I was doing and traveling to different countries and meeting different people. I was very socially awkward. I was actually quite the lame, and many people didn't like me in high school. But now I'm social butterfly, and I'm out here. Actually, I remember running in the club, just a quick story, running into a guy that I went to high school with and speaking to him, and him frowning up like, we went to school together? I don't know you. I don't know you. And I was like, oh, okay. Right. I guess moving along. But I'm glad for the glow up.
Yeah.
One time for the glow up.
Lightning round. So I'm going to give you two options. You have to say, on count to three, you have to say your answer at the same time. Martin or Fresh Prince?
Fresh Prince.
I was delayed.
I was going to
Oh, okay. My bad.
She said I was too late.
One Martin, one Fresh Prince.
Martin.
Fresh Prince.
Oh, really?
Split down.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Put down 3 waffles and 1 pancake.
Who said pancake?
Me.
Oh.
Orange juice or apple juice?
Orange.
Okay. Citrus got it.
It's good for you.
It mixed better with cocktails.
It does. Jack
The
Daniels.
sugar and apple juice.
Tupac or Jay-Z?
Ho! I'm gonna speak to everybody.
I'm gonna say Jay-Z.
I'm gonna say Jay-Z.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, that's all.
It really was.
Tupac and Biggie.
You understand? It's supposed to be. Yeah. It's supposed to be Biggie.
Same answer.
Wrong lineup.
Same answer.
Right. I thought it would be Biggie
Same
or
answer.
Pac.
I did too. That's why I hesitated. But my answer.
You're like, wait a
Red
minute.
or white wine?
Red.
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 White.
Oh, give you one to say? No, I'm saying. R&B or hip hop?
R&B.
Can I be in the middle?
You can't.
It depends on the day.
I'm an R&B thug. I like a little bit.
It depends on the day, right?
Only because R&B has been around longer, I'm gonna go with R&B. But that's a hard one.
I'm gonna say hip hop then.
You gotta say.
I got to, because R&B is like an exception when I listen to it, but I enjoy it when I'm like, yeah.
Light or dark liquor?
Dark. We grown.
Like I like my men.
Light or dark men?
Definitely
The
dark
blacker the
men, but the liquor depends on the day too.
Your credit score's not.
Kind of yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably think of something better later on, but I guess, I'm a big traveler. I've been to every continent except for Antarctica, and I've been to almost all the states. I have 11 more states to go before I've been to all 50 states. Huh? That's
a part of the
11. So that's part of the 11. Yeah, I haven't been to any of the Dakotas, Wyoming, Montana, Iowa. I need to just drive there. Kansas, South Carolina, Maine, Idaho, like all the stuff that like literally, especially somebody that looks like me, like what am I going there for? There's nothing there. So, but I hope to do it before I turn 40
Okay.
to like less than 2 years.
Okay.
That's pretty amazing.
It is.
Like high key. That's amazing.
Thank you.
All this amazing shit.
Right.
And so I guess my key of advice is I want people to travel. I feel like that's the best way you learn about yourself. And it's just I try to get young people to get out of their comfort zone and like just living where they are, going to the regular places, like leave your neighborhood, leave the state, go somewhere else. So I'm big on that.
The advice that I probably would give is make sure you can sleep at night. It's no right or wrongs really, but as long as you can sleep at night, it's all relative.
It is.
You can sleep at night. That's all that counts. Little known fact about me: I'm pretty much open book. I don't know. I'm actually fun to hang out with. I don't think most people get that. I don't give off a lot of like high energy, but I think the people that I actually do hang with are like, wait a minute, she's fun. People might be like, why do you hang with her?
She is fun. She's one of my favorite
Actually
people.
pretty fucking fun.
I know. I do enjoy you. So for me, I would say, just in terms of advice, would be, and this really has come out of starting Black Girl Luxury Furs, and the title of it being Black Girl Luxury Furs, and people asking, are you cutting people out by putting Black Girl in the title? And so my advice would be to leave some money on the table. It's okay to leave some money on the table if you're sticking to your mission. So my mission is to bring luxury to Black women at affordable prices. That's the mission. It doesn't include anyone else, and I'm okay with that because I'm sticking to my mission. So that's my advice. And then if little known fact,
I'm sure you got some stuff.
That I low-key, I think I am funny, but like I low-key want to be like a stand-up comedian. That's something that I feel like I could do. But
He's like, I don't know.
I feel like that's something I can just kind of turn on and off. Like when I want to be fun, like I just turn it on. So that's like a little.
I want to see it happen.
Yeah, well, let's see.
I want to see it happen.
Little known fact about me, I'm shy. I'm very people shy, and people don't believe me when I say that, but I'm extremely bashful. I was nervous to do this. I've been shaking the whole time. I don't know if you can tell. So that's a little known fact. And in terms of advice, I think something I'm learning now in life is being intentional about self-care and understanding that it doesn't necessarily mean getting my hair and nails done, which to me that's self-care, but not being afraid of like the quiet and silence, learning how to like breathe, meditate. I have a bad tendency to think I always got to be doing something to feel like I'm doing something, and sometimes doing something is doing nothing at all. So be intentional about your mindset, your space, and really taking care of yourself, because if you don't, you can't have your business, and you can't thrive in corporate if you're not sound as a person.
Yeah, that was a good way to end.
You've done great.
Yeah,
you're great. Good morning.
I appreciate you.
I love it.
So, Black households have these random rules. Everybody would have one. What's a random, Black household rule that you still follow today from something that you got when you was a little kid? I'll give you an example.
Okay.
In my household, you could not leave the screen door open. You had to make sure that the screen door was at least closed.
That was my grandma's house.
And when I'm in other people's houses, if somebody leaves the screen door open or whatever, I have to close it. It's like some kind of part of my DNA at this point. So I Are there any like grease in the Folgers can? Like,
oh man,
any old school?
Yeah, it's me and lights. Like, why y'all got all these damn lights on? And I mean, people's houses turning off lights. Like, do you need this? Yeah, I just
yeah. Lights is always a good one.
Yeah.
Period. Period.
I think for my grandmother's when it would thunderstorm, lightning and thunderstorm, all the lights go off, be quiet because God is doing His work, and then everybody's just sitting there looking at each other in the dark. Exactly. But yeah, I remember that. I remember sitting in the dark with her, like, this is stupid.
We didn't have. I know. I don't know. I'm not good at this. I have to like really think about it. But
yes, shoes
but
off.
that wasn't a shoes off. Because that's just like a sanitation thing. Right?
Yeah,
it's
not even a black thing.
Not a black thing. I think. But one thing my father, and it isn't so much a house thing, but just like one of his rules for us, which growing up when someone says like, oh, what's up? And I think most people are inclined to say nothing. What's up with you? We could never say nothing. Like nothing, like we would get the death stare sometimes if we said nothing. It's like, it's always something going on. So when someone asks me, what's up? Ask me what's up.
What's up?
Everything. Everything. That's the answer. Like it's all because in the universe, everything is always something going on. It's never nothing. So that would be like our household.
I like that though.
Yeah, I do.
Yes. So it's funny because as a kid, so imagine like a 7-year-old, an adult like asking a kid, "Hey, what's up with you?" Everything, and they're just looking at you like,
"What?
This is a deep kid." Yeah.
Hilarious. No, I think I probably almost break every rule I grew up with. Yeah. I leave lights on sometimes just for the fuck of it, just because I can. I'll wait until the morning to wash the dishes just because. Yeah.
You a habitual line stepper. Habitual
just because I can. That's how it goes. It's either I love y'all or I hate y'all. For real.
Please, let's clap it up. Hey.